All right. So with regard to the authentication system, you can see when you click on the when you come, this is the landing page. You have a slider that gives the user some kind of insight what the app is all about. You get me? So then the user has two options, whereas either to get started or to log in if he's a returning user. So if the user is just fresh, you click on get started, it has this kind of feel that, okay, let's get started. You join in and there's social login, then you have the option to log in with your email as you provide all the details and get started. Mind you, this is just a button drawer. So once you click outside, it slides down. Then we have this. So this is the when you want to log in, you have as soon as you click, you have a welcome back and you have all the buttons here for all the social logins. So you can use, or alternatively, you log in with your email. We have Alex here. Hi, Chief.
Hello, Chief. I'm just an observer. Please continue.
All right. So I haven't connected. So you people, one of you is going to be doing this connecting. But mind you, I will be here to support from the opening to the closing. Okay. So when you click on the sign up page, you're going to have this field. This page is going to display whereby you're going to have a button here that is actually going to connect the customer to a support system. It's going to also open in an overlay so that he can chat with us. There is going to be two ways to interact with the chat system, whether you're an authenticated user, we have your details, or you're not, you are a guest. So you understand me. So in case someone gets locked out of their account and they really need to be in touch with the BoldAssure team, this kind of interface comes in handy so that you can use someone else's device to communicate without having to push that user's information. So this is as a guest mode since we have a login. So from here, you provide all the necessary information. And once you're done, you click on the sign in. And if in case you forgot your username, you're going to click on forget password. You provide your email, you're going to make an API call here. And when it's successful, then the user gets to set their password. And so this is the interface for the setting password. So I'm creating multiple pages so that you use them where necessary or where it actually fits in. You get me? And as soon as the reset is successful, we get to give the user this sort of display so that, don't mind I took transaction. This is going to be a component. So whatever values or information you pass in to the company is going to be what is going to be displayed here, actually. So in the case of login, once the user has successfully logged in, you click on back to login and yep, everything gets set back. And we set him back to the root. We remove all the history so that on the mobile phone, when he clicks on the back button, the app tries to log quit rather than trying to go back to the navigation stack as it is initial. Or as soon as the user logs in, we have his icon, his name, and we get to flip in since we have a different sort of balances. So depending on whatever balance he has, there's going to be a slider so that you can navigate and see all of them. All right. So we also have a notification because we're going to be pushing notification for the transaction using the push notification. So all those notifications are going to come up here. Once you click here, the model is going to open with all these notifications. And this is for QR. This is for the payment, whereby you can click to scan or to display your QR so that people can pay you. So we're going to display some QR code containing the information, an encrypted token for that payer, for the payee and for the payer as well. Okay, then we have some sort of quick actions here whereby whatever interact activity you can do on BoldAssure console, we have them all here in an organized way, whether you want to do a transfer. So during the course of next week, you're going to be seeing more of the added in. So but for now, you can do transfer, airtime, data board, all these utility and bill payments are going to be all here. We're also looking in the future whereby we add an option where we enable our users to create a virtual card and physical card. Okay. So at the bottom, we have an offers for whatever offers or promo we're doing at that very instant, and this is where we're going to display them.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any question here? Let me start asking before I proceed.
No, I'm good. I'm good. This is clear. Yeah, I'm familiar as well.
All right. So then here in the middle where we have the charts, looking at it, you can tell it has to do with a lot of transactions. When you click on it, you have a field. The view is going to tell you like a quick summary of whatever transaction occurred on that very day. So that's why we have today. You can see the values there of the money that comes in and money that goes out, and you have a little or brief overview of whatever transaction occurred. So when it comes to every transaction, we want it to be understandable at a glance. So for example, as soon as I look at this, I understand the money is going out and the status of that transaction is pending, the value, and the date and time.
Okay.
All right. So so when you click on all transactions, you're going to see a whole stuff here. You're going to see all the transactions that happen. So that way, it will give you an option like all the transactions. So there's going to be some sort of infinite scroll whereby you keep scrolling and seeing transaction till the very first transaction that user made on the system. And here we have some so this is more like an insight. So we intend to add AI. We are integrating AI into our system so that it kind of give you the user an insight where is he actually spending all his money, stuff like that.
Okay.
All right. So then we have Okay, so now I understand. So this is the So this is the first. I told you earlier I have a lot of React applications. So this seems to be the oldest of it. Let's quickly launch the newer one. No wonder we have a lot of features in the working. I can also get rid of it. So the folder. So we're using the TX, and I'm sure that's not what I should be using. So we'll be using the mobile. Okay. All right. So you can see this interface also it's almost the same thing as the one we had earlier.
Yes.
With the exception that this one has a little bit more UIs that have been added. So for example, if you click on the view all, we have all the details, and we have categorized our transaction into 3, where all the transaction, all the incoming transaction, and all the outgoing transaction, so that the user can quickly go through whatever he wants easily without having to take a lot of time. Then you can also search, you can also filter based on a lot of categories. These are all going to be added. And what more? So, so when you click on the transaction, then you get to have a lot of information for that transaction. For example, you get to know if this is a transfer or if it's a purchase or a card payment, the value, the status, the transaction ID, the sender. This information are dynamic. It depends on the kind of action or the transaction that actually occurred. So this is actually for transfer. It was a bill payment. All these details are going to be actually different. A lot of this, for example, the bank will never be the sender. Actually, is going to be the bill provider. You get those sort of values. So this page is actually going to be dynamic and to contain a lot of information relevant to that transaction. There is always going to be a button if there's an issue with the transaction, so that the user can click to share to report on that issue or share the receipt with the relevant parties if it is appropriate. And we have the get statement. I will take you to it in a different view. Then we have the profile here. So in the profile, starting from the bottom, we have the sign out, where the user gets to go out of the system. And we have the about, we have the referral system. So with the referral, you get to refer a friend and get a stipend or not. It depends on what we have at that current moment. So this from here you can share, and from here you get to have a history of how many referrals you have done, how many have joined, and how many are still pending. Or those who, if there is a stipend and not a stipend or what incentive, those referrals that actually violated the terms and conditions for the app, that is, they're going to be voided. So there won't be any incentive for it. And there's going to be a help chat support, a help center here. We have the security where you set biometric, two-factor verification, change password, and a lot of those security measures. We're going to also, then this is a payment option. How do you top up your wallet? These are all those sort of options we're going to add. If someone add a card, so he will have the option to remove or add additional card or block the card at any time. And we have the beneficiaries here. By beneficiaries, whatever, for example, those frequently transaction you made. So if in the case of data and phone numbers, if you have a number that you can frequently top up, so you're going to add it to your beneficiary so that you can always have it here. So the essence of having this one here is this is where you manage them. Whenever you want to make a transaction, they're going to pop up there as a shortcut. But I have seen it in a lot of systems whereby you can add beneficiary, but to remove the beneficiary becomes a nightmare because there's no option for that. So that's why in our own system, we're going to have it separately in your profile so that you can always remove them after adding them.
Okay.
Then we have the statement of account whereby you can request a statement to be sent to yourself or a third party. So if you are sending to yourself, you already have your information. What is left is for you to select the date range and just make a request and it will be delivered to your email. If it's a third party, then you need to provide the third party email so that once we generate, we send it to the third party.